Hello and welcome back to Fantasy Turf War, the coolest fantasy football league on the planet. Before we get started, I have a special note from our commissioner, Corey. Current Antarctic weather is intense. Winds are gusting 45 miles per hour with blowing snow, temps reaching a wind chill of minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Got knocked clear off my rear twice, so I've got that going for me. Best of luck to all the teams in week 1. P.S. No one likes Dolphins here either. Well, that's good because last week he didn't like the Cowboys. But Corey is, of course, on assignment in Antarctica as the U.S. Antarctic Program Airfield Manager and is busy down there these days. No penguins yet, but he assures me they'll be there soon. And let me tell you, his latest Facebook profile picture is beginning to look like Tim Allen as he's slowly transforming into Santa Claus from the first Santa Claus movie. So hang tough, Corey. Stay warm. And back to the show. This is season 2, episode 7, our 81st episode, and we have a lot in store for you today, but I cannot do this myself. Let's bring in my co-host Adam from Fantasy Couriers and Susan, the Gridiron Goddess. Please introduce yourselves. Adam?
Oh, Adam Dove from the Fantasy Couriers. I go by the pseudonym DJ Dove, and if I'm a little frazzled tonight, I've been telling them this has been the night of never-ending crazy wild computer stuff. I must have brought the jinx with me. My computer crashed. I have a Zoom call at 7 that I got on early and everything's dead, so thank goodness for my son and his really nice computer. So if things are going bonky and I seem a little frazzled, everybody, that's where I am, but my ears are seeping fantasy football. I'm ready for another great night with you guys, and I'm gonna give you our best. We're gonna go at it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Susan, the Gridiron Goddess.
Hello, everybody. Y'all have a good draft weekend. It's not Labor Day weekend. It's draft weekend.
It was
Like
draft
that's what
weekend,
this
yes.
was.
We
So,
needed
hey,
that extra
Jennifer.
day to recover from it, right?
I know, right? But yeah, so I'm Susan, the Gridiron Goddess. You find all my socials down here. Rocking my Scott Fishbowl shirt tonight. Represent.
Yeah.
I got it because I drafted live in Dallas, which was awesome. So
I'm jealous.
it was great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how many leagues did each of you guys get in this year?
So Adam, you go first.
14.
14. That was
That's
wow.
the total. Man. Yeah. 14. A bunch of dynasties, a couple charities, an auction league, and a couple redrafts. I'm in one that I don't know anybody in. It's a Virginia league where it's some guy wanted people from different regions of Virginia. So I'm the Manassas.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool to do. I did that one as I was doing another draft. I do one at my school, and it's 14. I think is what I ended up with, counting my Scott Fishbowl team.
So Corey was telling me last night that you had a charity league going. He said, "Oh, there's one more spot. Grab it." It's like I just didn't have a chance to look at it, but I noticed you filled it up. Talk to us about the charity.
Yeah, we do. Every year the Couriers, or I have personally always done a charity league because I love fantasy football,
Nice.
love helping people. So we're like, hey, $25, pop it in. 100% of it goes to charity, and the winner gets a free spot on our podcast. So you win tens of ones of viewers. But this year, and I always let my kids choose. My son chose the American Cancer Society, so we're donating all the money to there. And then we did a second one that goes to the 401c that I'm representing in Fantasy Turf War. So
I love that. And then Susan, you do some great work yourself with the leagues that you chair. So tell us a little bit about that before we get into how many leagues you got in personally this year.
So I'm running a tournament called the Gridiron Goddess Games. It's 9 divisions of 12 teams, all women.
Wow.
So a lot of them are doing multiple divisions. I've got 2 women who are playing in 3 divisions. That's how many teams they wanted to run just in this one tournament. So it's fun. And we actually just started. I launched today. We're going to have a team name competition. So everybody's going to set their team names by Thursday, end of the game, the Dallas Eagles game. And then they're going to vote within their division for their best one. And then the top 9, so the winner from each division is going to go to a poll on the socials. So look out on the Gridiron Goddess socials so that you can vote in the name contest for the Gridiron Goddess Games.
You should bring. Will they be? You got to announce them on here. I want to hear these.
That'd be cool.
On Tuesday. Yeah, sure.
That'd be so sweet. So, and then how many?
I can definitely do that.
leagues do you personally get into that you're an active player?
Let's see. I think I'm in 6 redraft or keeper. I've got, I think, 5 dynasty and then
Wow.
4 charity best balls.
Wow, you guys are putting me to
Yeah.
shame. I'm only in 4.
It's too much.
Including
It's too much.
including
We
Pastor
miss
Horse.
something. We miss something each
You know,
week.
and here's the challenge I've always found: if I get into too many, now I'm training against people that I'm playing on a different team, and so it becomes more of a competition. So,
Yes.
it's like eventually it's like, okay, I want one of my teams to do bad enough so I don't have to cheer for that one anymore. I'll just root for the other players.
Well, and I suffer from that as well, where it's like I have teams, like players on both sides of the ball, and so I generally, if I'm doing a lot of redraft leagues, I generally don't diversify my rosters. I know that some people say
Ride or
like
die,
you
ride or die.
should, like you should diversify so you have more chance of winning, but then I'm emotionally unstable. So
No.
I don't, if I'm gonna, I like have my guys for the season, and generally I will try to draft them everywhere. But
Wow.
Sharon over here,
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
highlight
all
her.
to shame. In 18 leagues.
She's in the charity league. She's in the charity league last night.
Wow.
Well, there you go. I can't.
That
Too
is
many.
dedication.
Too many.
So for our audience, you're with some diehard people if they're in so many leagues. I'm in a dynasty, I'm in a keeper, I'm in a complete redraft, and then of course, Fantasy Turf Wars is a complete redraft as well. But I've always wanted to get into like a vampire league or a best ball league or something like that. I've been in the bidding leagues before, and it's all fun. But everybody, welcome to Fantasy Turf Wars show. We are here. We are here on the cusp of week 1. Yeah, we're just like that close.
It's fantasy football Adam. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Fantasy football Adam.
And so a week ago, a lot of teams are starting to cut a lot of players, and then we start a lot of shifting of players from one team to the next. Amari Cooper, Corey wanted to be plug this one. He's back with the Raiders. Okay, great, Corey, you're done. Okay. And then speaking of being done, Dallas lost Micah Parsons to Green Bay, so they're done too at this point. That was a mistake. I'll call it now. That is my favorite team. I'm wearing a jersey now for the Cowboys, but this might be the last time I wear it this season. I do not know. We'll see. So
offense will score a lot of points because they'll have to.
That's the upside.
Yeah, it's good for fantasy. It'll be good for fantasy.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Corey also
is leader is in the
too.
chat room. He is among the living here. Welcome, Corey. He said he was able to draft Adam's league.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our show because this show is all about bold predictions. It's going to be a really fun show as we head into the new season. But first off, we've got some business to attend to. Is that correct, Adam?
Oh, I'm excited. This is my favorite part. I get to put my theater goggles on here. So here we go. The theater voice. Here we go. Let's take a quick time out to shout out to our partners at Alpha Clash, the trading card game that turns every match into a battle for glory. In the Alpha Clash universe, superheroes collide in high-stakes battles where every card you can play can shift the outcome. Build your deck, unleash devastating abilities, and outmaneuver your opponent in a game that's as much about brains as it is about bold moves. The artwork will pull you in, the gameplay will keep you hooked, and the community is ready to test you at every level. Head to alphaclashtgc.com and start your journey today. That's alphaclashtcg.com. It's time to enter the clash. Alpha Clash has generously donated booster packs where you at home can start winning. I was doing so good, guys. Alpha Clash giving us a bunch of booster packs, and you can win them in September. That's the only time. It's not bad.
Well, and you can tell these are live. Live
reads.
So yes, they are live reads, guys. I
didn't run Burgundy myself. There was someone was on it popped up. I was like, wait, I lost all my words.
All right, bold predictions. So if you watch other channels and of course says, well, watch ours before everybody else's, you'll see the same conversations happening of who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be the number 1 quarterback. But we want to do something a little bit different on this show tonight. So our commissioner, Corey, has made 9 bold predictions that we'll be diving into and seeing just how crazy he is.
Look at
This
that.
is meant to be interactive with our audience as well. So as we go through them, feel free to chime in on any of the platforms we are streaming on right now. If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine too. Let us know that too. So, hot off the presses from our own Commissioner Corey, residing in the cold nether regions of Antarctica, I will read one of his cold, bold predictions, and then we'll discuss if we need to send warmer clothes to Corey or not. So, straight from the frozen tundra that's not Lambeau Field, we're going to get into bold prediction. That would be Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. So, Susan, is this a hot take, or do they not believe in firewood at the South Pole?
Oh, no firewood at the South Pole for me. And here's the thing. I mostly disagree with part of it. I do think it's possible he could get to 2,000 yards. He was within like 60 last year. Hold on, let me see. Oh, 80, 1921 last year for the season. And then he added another 270 on top of that in the postseason. So he can carry the workload. I think where the problem comes in with this prediction is the touchdowns. Last season, he had 16 touchdowns. He only had 2 in the air, but and that was his highest touchdown seasons yet. Touchdowns are not a sticky stat. You cannot rely on them. So I'm going to have to say no on this bold prediction that the yardage, maybe. Now he is a superhuman, right? Like you can't hold him in the same regard, talking about the age cliff and things like that. He is one of a kind. So I think it's possible for the yardage, but I just can't get down with the touchdown number. So,
Adam, your take on this?
I wish I could disagree with Susan. I think we finally had our first disagreement last week. But Derrick Henry is an android. He is better Adrian Peterson. I used to call Adrian Peterson like the Terminator because you thought all of a sudden he got old or did something stupid, but then Derrick Henry just keeps getting better. Like last year, he went to the greatest situation on earth. Like, so 2,000 yards, totally possible. 20 touchdowns, I don't even know. I mean, we're talking, he did get 18 last year. So is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? No. But then again, it's who's going to score touchdowns? Lamar, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers will get 3. Bateman will get 3. But so if they're going to score touchdowns, it's very possible that it happens. But if you're being bold, it's a good bold take. If you're betting, I'm betting the under on that. I'd bet the under on both and be willing to lose the 2,000 yards, but I think he could totally get to the 2,000 yards. With Lamar at quarterback, that threat gives him the yards and his just natural manliness and ability to run.
When I was looking up stats for this, I actually was surprised that Lamar only had 4 rushing touchdowns.
Right.
I expected that number to be higher, honestly. I thought he would vulture more touchdowns at the goal line, but he threw for 41 of them. And like people, it's so funny to me. People, obviously, what makes Lamar great in fantasy football is his rushing ability, right? He had like 1,000 yards rushing or something, almost. But he only had the 4 touchdowns. But when you think about 41 passing touchdowns, like that's up with, that's where Baker was. You don't think of him as a passing quarterback. So I was surprised by that stat that he only had 4 rushing touchdowns last season.
Yeah, and the knock against Lamar early in his career is that they weren't sure he could actually throw the ball. It was like, oh, you're just going to go back there and run all day. And then I think he started proving us wrong. Harbaugh started proving us all wrong on that he actually had some talent as a pocket quarterback on occasions, but still had the dynamic of running when he needed to. But as it pertains to Derrick, when they got him on the team last year, it's like, wow, that changed everything. How do you plan for both Lamar and the King? That's a wicked combination. So I would agree. He's capable of hitting 2,000 yards. I think he's capable of getting 20 touchdowns, but the likelihood of doing that probably remote. He would have to be almost a victim of opportunity in order to hit those things, that he would have to break away on some of those legendary runs to get some of those numbers padded up there. I think those kinds of numbers, yeah, they're doable, but there are very, very elite levels to obtain no matter who you are. So I think
Their
for that,
schedule is easier this year
that's good. Well, that
than it
helps in
was
his
last
favor.
year.
That helps in his
So their
favor.
strength of
Bengals
schedule
defense,
has them.
Bengals defense, Browns defense, Browns defense. That's 2,000 yards right there.
Oh, hopefully we've not offended anybody in our room, but if not, that was Adam who said that.
I'm starting Joe Flacco week 1 in my league with my school because he plays the Bengals. It's a 2-quarterback league, and I got Flacco late. I was like, dude,
There you go.
as long as he's playing and the Bengals are that secondary's there.
Yep.
All right, let's go into our second bold prediction. And again, these are all coming from our commissioner, Corey. And of course, he agrees with all of the commissioner's predictions. So bold prediction number 2, Saquon Barkley will not be a top 5 running back by the end of the season. Adam, does Corey's feeling on this matter hold any water, or are there only ice cubes in Antarctica?
I don't think that's bold at all. I've been talking that all off season. I think it's that 400 touch plateau that we talk about, and 400 touches pretty much most of the times means that one thing, a stat I found is since 2010, running backs who reach 400 touches only play 12.7 games the next year. So they're worn out, they're tired. Saquon is a great running back. I don't think he's gonna. I just don't believe he's gonna drop like all the past guys did. Like some of these guys got hurt or fell off the earth, or I mean, you're looking at seeing, all these guys, but I think he's not going to be top 5. We've all, JJ Wang and Alan Curries have been talking too. It could also be not so much his drop. There will be some drop, but the Eagles have 2 choices. Do we want to win the Super Bowl? Or do we want? I mean, last year they proved they didn't want Barkley to get the record. So he said, okay, so they're going to play Will Shipley a little more. Give him, he's the new hotness. They're going to put him in there a little more. Maybe instead of letting Barkley get murdered at the goal line on sometimes, they'll be like, hey, I mean, if he'll let them. They got a big A.J. Dillon. He goes about 1 yard at a time. So if he needs to get half a yard, he might get it. It's close, but I don't know if he can get much more than that. But will he be top 5? I don't think so. And it's not, I've written articles. I think he could be a low-end RB1, maybe an RB2 till all said and done, but that's just based on history, not on Saquon. Plus, he's got a history of injuries as well.
Well, I'd love to see him be consistently in the top 5 running backs. He certainly has the talent to do it. There are a lot of factors against him at this point. Age, you'd mentioned that, Adam, but
never played a whole season except last year. He would have.
And that's the thing. I mean, he's definitely going to have to break some of those legendary runs he had himself last year, just like the King did. But boy, you talk about somebody who's always had so much upside, and he's delivered on a lot of that. I will never be the stats guy. I'll be that gut feeling kind of guy. I think he's going to definitely be in the top 5 when everything's all said and done by the end of this year. The only thing in my mind that would stop him is injury. And I would surely hope that would not happen to him. He's such a good guy.
I got him at 6. By
Susan, you're the stats person too. Hit us with something. I know you got something.
So looking at last season, he had 2,005 yards in the regular season. So I think that if he can, that's the question. Can he stay healthy? He has 2024, he had 16 games. 2023, he had 14 games. 2022, he had 16 games. So he's stayed on the field for the last 3 seasons. He has stayed on the field for most of the season. But 2 of those games behind a Giants front line that couldn't do anything for him. I'm hoping that the Eagles line will help keep him healthy, because he's not going to have to bust through that line in a way that he did on the Giants. He has the protection he needs to help keep him healthy. So I agree that I don't know that he's going to be top 5. I think he'll be top 10. I don't think he'll fall all the way down to an RB2. But top 5 is going to really depend on making sure that the team is using him in a way that he can be used. And passing wise, they didn't really utilize him in the past. I mean, they utilized him in the passing game, which I think will help. He got 33 receptions on 43 targets last season. That added another almost 300 yards to his game. So hopefully they can get him involved in the passing game a little to keep him out of that just like brunt of the workload.
Yeah, he's always been a good outlet as a running back / receiver, and sometimes even being lined on the outside as a receiver. So two of the three of us think that he's not going to be a top 5 running back by the end of the season. That's not what a lot of people want to hear after they've just finished their drafts and they picked him in that 1, 2, 3, or 4 spot. I didn't see him drop much more than that in most drafts, but you're still going to get him
all along.
Regardless.
Yeah. He is also on the Madden cover.
Oh no! Oh, that's not good.
Although I actually looked this up one time, the Madden curse, like, statistically is not a thing. Like, they say it, but like the numbers don't bear out with the Madden curse when you like actually look at the numbers. So there's a point in your favor, but Cameron, for saying that he will do it. So just people know that the Madden curse statistically is not a thing.
All right, let's go on to the cold, bold prediction number 3. Ashton Giante outscores Jahmyr Gibbs in PPR. And so can we actually bank on Corey's bold prediction here, or has he only left in the snowbank? So I'll take this one, and I'm saying it's going to take a lot to prove to me that Ashton Giante has the ability to outscore Jahmyr Gibbs in PPR. It's not to say that it won't be close, because I think it could be close, but Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have to worry about coming in as the second stringer anymore. He is the game in town right now. Yeah, Montgomery will step in, and he'll come in on the the off series just like Gibbs did in the prior years. I think I'm still in that wait and see approach when it comes to Giante, because I'm not convinced that the Raiders line is going to be able to give him the opportunities to make much noise. And if Raiders are fairly one-dimensional, because they don't really have much of a passing game outside of perhaps Brock Bowers, then I think defenses could start to just try to say, well, Giante's not going to beat us. But there is a big unknown factor out there. I am excited to see what Giante can do, but I think to say that he would outscore Gibbs in PPR, I'm not so sure that's going to be the case.
So I'm looking, and you're talking about the offensive line. PFF, Pro Football Focus, has the Raiders offensive line ranked 18th. So bottom half offensive line. Hopefully he can be the talent that says he's gonna be, and that line won't hold him back. But I do think that is something that is going to be a problem. Meanwhile, you're looking at the Lions. PFF has the Lions ranked at 13. So you've got a better offensive line for Gibbs, and the pass catching work that just is going to be there for Gibbs. I saw a video, I wish I could remember this when I saw this, but literally Gibbs is lining up on the outside. He is running in camp. He was running wide receiver routes.
That's awesome.
So even if Montgomery is taking some of that pound the ground work, Gibbs is lining up as a wide receiver. So it just, in PPR, it's wheels up for Gibbs this season.
Adam, hands in the
air. That's all there. I mean, you're looking at Gibbs. He's 71 and 63 targets. Targets are my static, that's my receiver thing. If you're looking at a receiver, it doesn't matter how many catches. You're looking at targets that are thrown to them. It's the whole why I think Rome Odunze could be better as long as Caleb Williams increases his sprint. But he's got 134 targets his first 2 years. Amazingly, the same amount of receptions both years, 52. And in PPR, 52 is the numbers. I looked up Giante, and I mean, it's hard because colleges don't pass like pros do. And I had it up, but Genty, I believe, had like 23. Darn it, I had too much up, but he had 23 or 32. He had a handful of receptions. But this isn't bad for a college because it doesn't seem to, they don't pass to the running back in college. So at least that's an interesting fact to see. And that would be the only way he could catch him realistically. Could Genty run for more yards? Absolutely, he could. I still don't think he does because I think Jahmyr Gibbs wheels up. That's the way to say it. That's the best thing to say that. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs has done nothing but get better every year. He's increased in every stat except for receptions. If he'd done one more, he'd increase every stat. So he got more touchdowns, more yards, more receiving yards. By 2, he had the same receptions, but he had his yards per reception was 9.9. I mean, his yards per attempt in rushing is 5.6 last year. I mean, the dude is
oh my gosh,
electric. Until further notice, I mean, and Genty, it's the Raiders. So once again, I have this like last year. It's just that gut feeling you're talking about, Cameron. I like Genty, but I don't love him. I kind of, if I was in a draft, I'd want to be a little later and get a Marion Hampton. I'd rather have him than Genty just because of situation. And I'd something, there's that smell test time. And then I'm sitting there reading an article about how, do you know who the running back 2 is for the Raiders? It's not Mostert.
It's not Mostert anymore.
Is it
Zamir?
Zamir White?
You're putting Zamir White possibly as the RB2 is what's an article here I was
over
reading.
McCormick. That's interesting because McCormick was getting the work at the end of the season last year.
I love McCormick last year. I had him on my team because I had a feeling he could have taken over that starting job this year, and then the Raiders go out and draft Giannis.
I thought he got. Let me make sure I'm not crazy.
But
he might be.
It's more of an indictment of how bad we think the Raiders will be, or the offensive line or productivity. So sorry, Commish Corey. Your bold prediction 3 of Genty outscoring Gibbs in PPR. I think that bold prediction belongs in the snowbank. Sorry.
It's
all right. Let's go on to bold prediction number 4. JJ McCarthy is a top 12 quarterback by end of season. So, Susan, is Corey seeing things that we don't, or has he been playing with snow angels too much down there?
He's got to get inside. He's got to warm up. His brain's not working. There is no way. I just don't think there's any way that JJ McCarthy can be a top 12 wide receiver or quarterback this season. It's not that I think JJ McCarthy is bad. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to do really well. He got to sit last season and watch. He got to learn the system. The coach there he turned Sam Darnold. He runs a system that turned Sam Darnold into a top 12 quarterback last season. The only problem is all of the top 12 guys from last year, I don't know that they are going to regress in a way that allows McCarthy to jump ahead of them. He does have somewhat of a rushing floor. In college, he was averaging between 200 and 300, depending on the season, 200 and 300 yards on the ground, which is great. A baseline rush for the season is really helpful in fantasy football. 700 rushing yards had Daniel Jones finish as a wide receiver, as a quarterback 9. So one season. So the rushing floor is great. I just don't know that other quarterbacks are going to regress in a way that he can overtake them.
Adam, thoughts about JJ McCarthy? Boy, it looked like a promising season last year before just about a year ago. So what do you think this year?
Last year, I had no interest in JJ McCarthy. Ooh. I was looking at the guy how many times did he pass that one game for Michigan? Going like, well, they like him because he was the Michigan guy, but he did what he had to do and he won. And then he falls into Minnesota. And maybe the best thing that happened to him is he got to sit and learn the game last year. That's old school. Carson Palmer, he got to watch Kitna for a year. So he's coming in, and my glasses are a little rosier than Susan's on him, being that Sam Darnold, the NFL's worst quarterback in the last 25 years, not really, but he's not. He's been terrible. He could be good. He was terrible. The dude came out of nowhere,
Lit it up.
4,319 yards, 35 touchdowns. Oh my, like, good grief. If you could make Sam Darnold into Peyton Manning all of a sudden, why can't you make JJ McCarthy, who's younger, more mobile, and the legs you were talking about is why. Now, if that answer was Drake May, I would say yes. Because we're looking like the 12th guy last year, depending upon the scoring and whatnot, is Brock Purdy, who I think is going to drop like a rock with that team. So, I mean, we're looking at who are we going to get rid of? I mean, Sam Darnold was up there but I think it's more possible than Susan does because of the Minnesota system, because of Jay Jetta, because Aaron Jones is healthy. You're going to have your favorite boy, Jordan Mace, on the other side. I mean, they have Adam Thielen back. Some of these guys, I love that Instagram picture that shows like all these guys like back on their original teams. It's like 2019
Right.
all over again.
Yeah.
Bands back together,
yeah.
guys.
I mean, and then you're going to have Addison back in 2 games. Hawk's going to be there and healthy again and ready to roll. It is totally possible if he rushes, I mean, even 500 yards, he's right there. So I don't think it's a frozen take, but
how do you feel about, here's the thing. How do you feel about Bryce Young popping back up into the top 12? He was down at quarterback 20, for the season, but after he came back after being sat, he had top 10 finishes last season, and now he's added a first-round wide receiver. His younger tight end is coming onto the scene in Brenton Strange, and I think that he has the ability to make that leap that everybody was wanting to see from him last year. So that's my thing. When you look at the list of quarterbacks, I mean,
that's a lot of competition to beat out to be in the top 12.
Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, they're locked, right? Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, top 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then where you get question marks, where you start based on things, Baker, Goff, Bo Nix, who I think Bo Nix is going to take a step forward this year. Kyler, where they've talked about how he's going to run more this season. I don't think he's going to fall out. Then there's Mahomes, who's somehow magically he can't. I don't think he can have a worse season than he did last year, because they're going to open it up. And then we get Justin Herbert, right? Who I think is being just pushed by the wayside by the fantasy community inappropriately. I think he is going to do really well this season.
He can ball it out.
So at this point, who's left is Sam Darnold. So the question is, can JJ McCarthy replace Sam Darnold in the top 12 as the quarterback for that team?
It is an interesting dilemma. He is surrounded by talent, no question about it. Can they bring that out of him? I do believe that the year away, sitting on the sidelines, was a good year for him to learn. And I agree. If Darnold could do it last year with that talent, why couldn't JJ McCarthy do it? So, boy, 12 feels like it's about the right place for him, just at face value. I just think there are too many other better quarterbacks out there that are going to break into that top 12. And so I think it's going to be difficult for him to be among that talent, that tier. It's possible. I just don't think he can do it, though. Okay. So that rounds out the first 4 bold predictions of our illustrious Commish Corey here. We do have a trivia break, and then I want to address a couple of the key questions quickly, but we've got 5 more bold predictions we want to get to. So trivia break. So if you've been watching us over the first few weeks, you know we had a weekly trivia contest that was going to be scheduled for right now. So all you need to do is email your answer as well as your name to fantasyturfwar@gmail.com. Again, fantasyturfwar, one word, @gmail.com. You have until Sunday night to enter with the correct answer. We'll pull all of the correct answers out, draw a winner, and then announce that on next week's Tuesday show, where we'll ask the very next question. So this week, And thank you for posting that into the chat rooms. This week's question should be simple. Who was the NFL's leading rusher last season? Who was the NFL's leading rusher last season? So remember, email your answer as well as your name, fantasyturfwar@gmail.com. Okay. I see a few items out here. Let's clean those up really quickly. Just a quick rapid fire on these things. If we want to post those into the chats real quick, let me just go ahead. There we go.
Here's
Josh Allen. Should I flex Shakir and Coleman, both from Buffalo, or do I go with Myers and Ollie Gordon? I know, Adam, you're an Ollie Gordon fan. What would you do?
I wouldn't play him, though. I'd pick your – it depends if it's PPR, Shakir, Coleman, if you're a gambling man. Myers, I would start Myers for sure of those four. Like, he's the best of those four. Don't start Ollie Gordon because Achane's going to start, and they say he's going good. So you pick your scoring system for which guy you're going to want. Coleman is your prayer. Shakir is your PPR guy.
So if you're an underdog, start Coleman because he has the ceiling.
Upside,
if you are the person who's slated to win, you can start Shakir because he's going to have the floor.
Yeah, nice. I agree with that as well. Another quick take on this: starting two, full PPR, RJ Harvey, Debo, or Ridley.
My gut instinct is Debo and Ridley in that.
I was going to go there too. Yep.
RJ Harvey is not listed as the starter, so I would go with Ridley. Is going to have a great season. Cam Ward is going to pepper him with targets, and I think Debo. Let's see how the year starts out. I would still be starting him though because he's going to start. RJ Harvey might be on the bench.
He's quick enough, and everybody's expecting McLaurin's going to get his numbers. There are a lot of mouths he can feed, meaning Daniels. I think he's going to. So, all right, some quick takes there. Thank you from our audience asking those questions. Now, let's get back into our bold predictions. This is bold prediction number 5. Christian McCaffrey averages under 15 fantasy points per game. Does he have something with this bold prediction, or is he one ice cube short of a full tray? Adam.
Christian McCaffrey only has one problem. The only ability problem he has is availability. You go through his career, his rookie year was the only year other than last year that he had less than 15 points. I'm looking at PPR, so I can go to half point PPR if you want me to. His rookie year, he was 14.3. Then his second year, 24.1, 29.4, 30.1. He played 7 games in Carolina, had 18.2. 3 games had 31, 21, 24.5. And last year was a fiasco. I don't think he was healthy because he went back out. He had 11.9. They're saying he is healthy. They're saying he's ready to go. There's not that worry that we have with Joe Mixon is Christian McCaffrey this year. Everybody doesn't know what's going to go on or if he's ever going to play. McCaffrey's playing. If McCaffrey is on the field, Debo's gone. He's getting all Debo's numbers. Ayuk's out. All you have is Ricky Purcell and supposedly Juwan Jennings is back on the practice field that are really good, and Kittle obviously. But Christian McCaffrey is the 49ers number 1, 2. We'll put Kittle there, but he's their best player. Christian McCaffrey. If you just said 20. I probably still would have said it. I might have even gone higher on that bold take than 15 because he plays to the moon.
I would agree. Availability is the key here. I think everybody hopes that he rebounds from the debacle season last year. If he's on the field, he's going to get his touches. He's going to be that workhorse. He is the stud. I didn't like when Carolina got rid of him. But at the same time, I think Carolina had to do what's going to be in their best interest. They couldn't pay him to keep him. And I hope that Christian McCaffrey has a completely awesome blowout season, except for when I play against him, because I don't have McCaffrey in any of my teams. So I will be personally rooting against him on those selective weeks. But I think 15, way too low. 20, I probably would have the same take. It depends on his availability. We're hoping that he'll have his numbers up towards 25 like he used to in the good old days. We don't know. I agree. Mixon is probably the Christian McCaffrey of the season. We'll see how that
plays. My dynasty roster.
I got it twice.
Yeah, there you go.
Killing me.
I mean, so when you just look at his stats, right? There are 4 seasons where he played 16 or 17 games. All 4 of those seasons, he finished either 1 or 2. That's it. I mean, that's the game. So, and I think it was like the season that he finished, it was 2023 that he finished running back 1. He was on like 50% of championship rosters.
Mhm.
So McCaffrey is a draft pick that you are playing to win. He's not a floor pick. He is I'm shooting for the sky. And if it's bad, it's bad. And I'm just going to have to deal with it.
Mhm.
Now, fortunately for the team, I think they went and they drafted a very capable backup. Or not drafted, traded for a very capable backup. And so
yes.
if McCaffrey gets injured, I think at this point now could even be Brian Robinson to the moon, because Shanahan, although they somehow break their running backs. I don't know what is wrong with that field. But if Brian Robinson gets the opportunity, I think even he can be this season's Jordan Mason. So it's if he's healthy, hands down, that is not that bold to take at all.
All right. So Corey, and I know you like all of your bold predictions here. I think we're on the same page here as you. Except for the fact that he's going to be scoring more than 15 fantasy points. Sorry, we're against you.
How high would you go, guys? What would you call bold?
25.
Oh gosh.
Bold 25.
Yeah.
Because that forced you to think
24.9. 24 and a half. I was betting over under.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2023, it was 24 and a half is what he was doing. In 2022, he was the wide receiver 2. It was 21.
21, yeah.
I'm sorry, running back. Sorry. I mean, he catches passes like wide receiver, but
oh yeah.
Let's see, I've got to let it load. In 2019, that was also his running back 1 season. Again, 29 and a half fantasy points.
I had him that year.
And, receptions are his target, guys. That's why Brian Robinson could play more, because Christian McCaffrey in any of these seasons, his highest rushing total is 1459. He only has 2 that are over 1130. He's not rushing; he's receiving the snot out of the ball.
Yeah, it's 1,000. I mean, that 2019 season, he had 1,000 receiving yards.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
All right, let's move on to bold prediction number 6. And you knew our commissioner was going to have to throw this in there, the homer that he is. Brock Bowers, his bold prediction, will be the number 1 tight end of the season. So is this a stone cold lock or just plain cold? I think Brock on paper is the number 1 being drafted. I expect he's going to have some fantastic numbers to put up this year. But if it's not going to be Brock Bowers, you'll probably be looking at either Kittle or McBride. The argument for Kittle would be, who else are you going to throw it to? You got Pearsall, and of course you got CMC. But if you're looking for a tight end, it'd be hard to turn down Kittle if he's on your draft boards. Congratulations, anybody who got him. McBride, I had him last year. The teaser is that, boy, he's a great one. He's going to get a lot of touches, but he can't score touchdowns. If he can score some touchdowns, put him in that conversation of being in that elite tier. Brock Bowers face value. If they force feed him the ball, yes, he'll be the number 1 tight end of the season. I'm just not sure it's going to happen.
So when you're looking at those 2, Bowers and McBride actually scored 0.1 fantasy points per game more than Brock Bowers did. So when you're looking, he had 1 less. Bowers had 112 receptions. McBride had 111. Bowers had 1,194 yards. McBride had 1,146. The only difference really between these guys was touchdowns. Yeah. So the problem is touchdowns are not a sticky stat in fantasy football. You cannot you can guess, but you can't rely on those in any way, shape, or form. So when you have to look at all of the things around it. I worry that Tyler is saying he's going to run more. So does that take away some of the dump off passes from McBride? However, is he going to get the touchdowns this season? One rushing touchdown. It wasn't even a passing touchdown. It was a rushing touchdown last season. Crazy. Bowers is getting a quarterback upgrade, a major quarterback upgrade. Gino was able to carry 2 top 24 wide receivers in Metcalf and Lockett. So, and was it
JSN was there,
and Noah Fant even some weeks could be relevant for you with Gino. So it really is. What do you think? I personally agree with this take. I think Bowers is going to take it again because of the quarterback upgrade, and
love it.
That to me is what is going to make this happen again.
I got my first Brock Bowers share this weekend. He fell to the 4th round. I was
no
like,
way.
Dude, yeah,
you can't pass that up.
I forgot who I wanted, and I saw Brock Bowers and McBride. They're both there, and I tend to lean more McBride just because I don't like Geno Smith. There's no reason other than that. Like, Geno Smith had that great year in Seattle, and everything else. He's maintained guys, and Genty's going to take away the touchdowns. I mean, it could be. I have George Kittle as my tight end once. I guess I got to say George Kittle because of what Cameron said. He's the only horse in town. So, it's going to be Kittle or McCaffrey scoring touchdowns generally. I don't see Purcell scoring, maybe 6 touchdowns. So if the 49ers want to compete, which I'm hit or miss if they're going to, Kittle's going to ball out.
And schedule's too easy to not compete.
Yeah. But maybe my boy Evan Ingram comes up there. He's the guy I've been touting all season. I would love to. That would make my day. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would make me happy because I'm in love with Evan Ingram in Denver, or I'm in love with everything Denver. But I think it's almost splitting hairs or both. And what's going to make it even more fun is we're never going to know because they both have the same bye week. So it's going to be even great. They're going, this is a horse race together. I just noticed that as I was looking at their stats.
Oh my gosh.
Horse race straight down. They both have a week 8 bye, and they're never going to their scores are not going to change. That is pretty gnarly to see that going on. But just to be adventurous, I'll say George Kittle because that's who I had as my tight end 1 because the rookie tight ends recently have sort of done great and then dropped a smidge, and maybe Kittle gets more touchdowns. Tight ends are a touchdown stat unless you get So I looked up to the top 10 tight ends for the last decade or so. It's been Kelsey.
I like that Corey tossed this one out as being a bold prediction, but if you think about it, Brock Bowers was the number 1 tight end on the board. So for him to have the number 1 ranking at the end of the season, is it really that bold? I don't know, but I know Corey had to put in a homer pick out there, so that's what he went with.
I think what's more bold is Tyler Warren finishing as the tight end.
Don't tell anybody about Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren.
He's a sleeper.
I'm just saying.
If people have not picked him up in any of those waiver wires, you're hearing it here from us first. Do it.
Could we have a rookie tight end finish number 1 2 seasons in a row?
Oh, it is possible.
I drafted Loveland in the league, so I'm hoping it's Loveland. He fell to me in the rookie draft. I was like, how did this happen?
That would be almost as a wacky prediction as Corey's bold prediction number 7. Jared Goff wins NFL MVP. Really, Corey? Is Corey's bold prediction right, or have the Polar Bears been playing ping pong with his head? I'm thinking that. I think the Polar Bears have gotten to you on this one. Jared Goff does not have, the staff around him that got him where he's gotten to in prior years, and he's aging. So, my gut feel tells me that there are too many other talented people out there that are going to be vying for that title. Jared Goff would not have come up in my list if I had given you my top 30. So I think he's that far down there. Because if Jared Goff has a good season, that means somebody else around him had a better season because he got him the ball. So that would be my take on that one. I'm sorry, Susan, I jumped in front of you on that one, but
no, you're fine. I think that was The Lions have to win the Super Bowl for this take to come true.
Yeah.
That is literally the only way I could see this possibly happening. And even then, it might go to one of the running backs.
Hmm.
So, I mean, which generally doesn't happen, but Dan Campbell is Dan Campbell, right? So the culture of the team is not changing. I will be very interested to see how Ben Johnson leaving is going to affect Jared Goff. What was nice last season is that you used to have this like home, away, in a dome, not versus dome, very evident split for Jared Goff. That can't happen for an NFL MVP, but last season that kind of softened. There was less of that. And so Jared Goff became a more reliable fantasy football streamer, if we're talking about fantasy football in the mix of this. But the only way this happens is if the Lions win the Super Bowl this year, which they are not in my picks. So
there's a lot of competition out there. Adam, thoughts about Corey's bold prediction about Jared Goff MVP?
I think he spelled Bo Nix wrong. That's all I could figure out.
He says it's the sunlight. He does not get enough sunlight.
I think it's spelling sunlight. Jared Goff. Now I love Jared Goff. I've been on the golf train. Like my super sleeper guy who I think is going to ball out that nobody's paying attention to because of his back is Matthew Stafford. So totally zag on that because it's Stafford's last hurrah. I think the Rams are going to be a really good team that we're not paying attention to as much as we should with what they're going to have. So I think Stafford, has a better chance of being MVP than Goff. And Stafford is QB 25, whereas, whereas Goff is 16. But then again, something I was going to mention earlier, we're talking about these quarterbacks is realistically, I think I saw a stat was between quarterback 18 and like 22, the difference is like 3 points a week. Like it's something that minimal. So the chances of Stafford being that good, Stafford could be QB 9 or QB 22. Goff could do the same thing by 3 points a week. But Jared Goff, I agree with the take on the running back. It'd be Jahmyr Gibbs if anybody won that award. If that team's doing it, he'd get the Saquon treatment.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that we're talking about QB 16 plus. In a lot of leagues, these guys weren't even drafted. So unless you're in deeper leagues and you had to have two quarterbacks or you really want to have some depth, sometimes some of these good quarterbacks, and they're good, never got drafted. So keep an eye on for any waiver wire stuff if you guys need it and you're in dire straits after week 1.
I think sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I think it's a very good year to be a team that is streaming quarterbacks.
I like
if
that.
If you're someone who decided to go quarterback late, I mean, Dak Prescott, who carries CeeDee Lamb to wide receiver 1 seasons, is being drafted I think I got him in the 9th round.
I got booed for drafting him, or someone got booed. They're like, "Why'd you draft Dak?"
My Cowboys.
I think it's a really good season to be streaming quarterbacks if that is the strategy that you wanted to take. I mean, because even Drake May is going undrafted, and Drake May has the rushing floor that's higher than JJ McCarthy's. So
I like that completely. You're exactly right. If you did not get one of those elite quarterbacks, when you started looking at what was left, you're probably feeling pretty good. There was a lot of good talent between number 6 and number 16 that was available, and for people to stream quarterbacks, this would be the year to do it if you're going to do it. All right, Cowboys equals 1 star. Corey, isn't bedtime? No.
So like a summer.
Boo.
All right. So let's go on to bold prediction number 8, where the logo looks like a toilet seat. So bold prediction number 8 for our Chicago friends, Rome Odunze, wide receiver, post a breakout season for the ages. We're talking 1,200 plus yards, 10 touchdowns. And for bold prediction number 8, is he onto something with this receiver, or is he cold like Corey's hands and feet? So Adam.
The needle's moving that way, but I don't think it'll hit that peak. Roma Dunze, I think I mentioned on here and on my other show, and everywhere I talk to guys, Roma Dunze had basically a 50% catch rate last year.
Yes.
And I don't think that happens again because the talent is there. He had time to, unless he didn't practice with Caleb Williams also. He had time to work with Caleb Williams again. Now they're not just boys. They're now, because they rode in the, he wanted a Roma Dunze drafted. So I think he takes the step. For me, he is in the second year. This is our Susan and I disagreed the other week. I think he's going to overtake DJ Moore. He's big, he's strong, he's going to go in, he's going to overtake DJ Moore. Take that, and he's got Keenan Allen's reception. So Keenan Allen's gone. So it's basically him and DJ Moore are going to split those receptions. Loveland might take some of those receptions, or should, but still, even if he goes up to say 120 targets, and he's gonna get maybe 60, 70, he got to get up to 75% catch rate, catches, receptions. So that's going to get him he's going to get 1,100 yards. And again, it's that touchdown thing. Like 10 touchdowns, maybe. Touchdowns are hard for me. The 1,200 yards, yeah. I could see it happening. I mean, JSN did it year 2 after coming on sort of late. So it's a very high possibility. Touchdowns are just so hard. So is he onto something? To your question, yes. I would bet the under, but I think he's really onto something because I'm a Rome guy. I roam if you want to roam around the world.
Interesting. That's so funny.
One of the questions that I have is it has actually, and again, I need to remember where these things come from if I'm going to tell them to people, but that running backs generally are they are the beneficiaries of vacated wide receiver targets. Mm-hmm. So Swift can do that. So what I don't know is how many of Allen's targets are going to not be divvied out to Rome, but are going to end up going to Loveland and Swift. So with DJ, again, I think DJ Moore is still the wide receiver 1. I think they paid him to be the wide receiver 1, but I worry about the vacated targets going here to Loveland and Swift, my imaginary, talking with my hands here, rather than necessarily Odunze's target percentage jumping way up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think a year from now, I think the changing of the guard would take place that Rome is the number 1, but this year DJ Moore is on paper the number 1 until I think he proves otherwise. Could Rome have a breakout season? Yeah, he certainly could, but I think he really does have to throw what he has to catch what's thrown to him. And last year he had too many drops. He had too many that were either uncatchable or something, to the point where now people talk about the catch percentage, and it should be much, much higher. My former football coach in high school said that if you can touch it, you can catch it. And I think that's the mentality that these guys need to have, is that if it's catchable, you're a professional. There's no reason why you shouldn't have more catches or high percentage than that. But now he does have to contend with more mouths to feed. Yes, you got rid of Keenan Allen, so that clears up the wide receiver locker room a little bit. But then they went out and drafted a second tight end. So they could be running multiple tight end sets now. And that's going to disrupt anybody's productivity. I still think he can still have 1,200 yards. I think the touchdowns are not just going to be a matter of his abilities, but I think it's going to be more of Caleb Williams' ability. Can he actually throw the ball with accuracy to get the touchdowns to his receivers instead of the checkdowns? And so I think for this one, for me, bold prediction 8, I think is more about it's going to go cold. It's not going to happen.
So I do want to point this out. This is interesting to me, is that when you look at, people talk about how Marvin Harrison Jr. had an okay rookie season, right? Yeah. It wasn't the standout that everybody wanted, but Rome is being discounted so much more, but his season was not that much different from Harrison Jr.'s. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 116 targets and only 62 receptions. So their catch rate was not that different. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 885 yards. Rome was at 7 something.
Yeah.
So
not dissimilar. Yeah.
It's not dissimilar. The difference is Marvin Harrison Jr. had 8 touchdowns.
Puts them in a different conversation.
Rome only had 3.
When you're not producing, it's going to get more attention. Yeah.
I think if Rome had 8 touchdowns, we'd be talking about this differently. Now, wide receiver 1 in Arizona versus wide receiver 2 in Chicago, but it's very interesting when you
wide receiver 2 in Arizona. If you think about it,
well, because Trey's the first pass catcher. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see again how these 2 rookies who came out, and it was hotly debated one way or another as we got closer to the start of the season. Obviously, everybody was like, "Oh, MGH," but then as the offseason went on, people they were getting a little closer together. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I agree. We're going to go up to bold prediction number 9, and I think it's going to be an interesting one for conversation. So bold prediction number 9 from our illustrious Commish Corey, Ladd McConkey from the Chargers finishes outside the top 20 wide receivers. And will our opinions rain on Corey's parade, or is he just destined for snow showers this season? So Susan, lead us off on Ladd McConkey finishing outside the top 20 receivers.
This one's so hard with Keenan Allen coming back, who has the rapport with Herbert. I mean, Keenan Allen did he finish top 12 that last season before being sent to the Bears? I didn't look that up. I need to look at that. But so Keenan Allen's back. Johnson, while terrible his rookie season, took a step forward last year.
Yes.
The guys that they initially had, I think it's Palmer, he's out of there now. So rookies. At this point, you're looking at, there's Trey Harris, who over the course of the offseason and preseason has kind of fallen by the wayside with bringing back of Keenan Allen. But I hope not, because he's electric on the field. His college production, he did it one season. That was it. He was the guy who he produced for one season. And then he got to, people were like, I don't know, we're going to take a chance on this guy. And then he produced without Keenan Allen on the field. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think 20 is too low. I don't know that he's going to be outside the top 20. I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver 1, though. I think he's going to fall in the past wide receiver 12 range.
Yep. Adam.
I'm thinking he's outside the 20. I'm going to go with this bold prediction for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is Justin Herbert's favorite guy. I went off on this the other day, like thinking about like Ladd. I was not a believer, and by the end of last year, I was like, dang, was I wrong? Ladd was killing it. Ladd had a monster season, and I'm gonna throw this up here.
The gauntlet.
There you go. I got this up here.
Yeah, I'll take that, Corey.
Corey is going over under wide receiver 15.
I'm going to say I think he's going to finish as 16. So I'm going to go under. I think 20 is too low, but I'll go under 15.
You heard it here first, guys. It's part of his.
I'll take 20. I'm going 20 because I pulled up another receiver. Everybody's going to go, well, Keenan's getting older, but Keenan's a possession receiver, and he's not as good as the other guy, one of the greatest receivers of all time, Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald became that possession went from being the big outside the possession receiver towards the end of the year. And Larry Fitzgerald in his age 33 season had 150 targets, 107 receptions, 1,023 yards, 6 touchdowns. Next year, 161, 109. That's his high 30s. Keenan Allen, we might be surprised that Keenan Allen plays for a few more years because Justin Herbert just loves the dude and he's going to target him. Justin Herbert was told his rookie year, stop throwing to Keenan Allen. So I think he's going to fall back into old habits. Ladd is going to be a spectacular wide receiver too. Keenan Allen probably will score. He might be that 15 guy. People are going to you're getting him in the like 15th round. If Keenan Allen, darn it, I got too many things. Keenan Allen last year, Keenan Allen last year had terrible season. 121 targets, 70 receptions, 744, and 7 touchdowns. Well, that's because Caleb Williams couldn't throw a grape in the ocean. He had 70 targets. This dude is short-handed. Last time in San Diego, 150 targets, 108 receptions, 1243, and 7. He's going to roll right back into that. He was named a captain of this team. The respect is there. He's going to come in. I think Keenan Allen will be better than Ladd McConkey. I have 0 Ladd, but I love Ladd. I want him to be good. But I just think Keenan takes over. And it could be good for Ladd in the long run as a player. I feel bad for those people that took him in the second round. But yeah, Corey, I'm in. Oh man, he's getting crazy over here.
I'm going to take it. Man. I'll do that.
Now we need some clarification.
$50 to the charity.
So the question is, so if it's 16 or better, like 16-1, you win. If it's 17 or worse, then Corey wins. Is that the understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
And then,
some friendly banter, guys. Awesome.
And it's going for charity. That's even better. You missed that part.
Yeah,
That's the best part.
Nobody can lose on that. Yeah. My take on the Chargers is that they're not utilizing Herbert the way they needed to last year. And we know he's got the weapons. He's got the arm. He's such a good quarterback. The accuracy was incredible, except for one game in the postseason. But beyond that, though, I think it still comes down to Harbaugh. What is that game plan going to look like? If it's going to be conservative, where they're not going to let him cook, then there's no way he's going to be able to support Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen to have, say, 1,000-yard seasons. And they're both talented. They should have 1,000-yard seasons. But I'm just not sure that Harbaugh is going to open up the playbook to let Herbert throw because he just feels like he just needs that control. If either Keenan or McConkey can't break into the top 20, I think it's not because of Herbert, and it's not because of their own inabilities as receivers. I think it's going to be Harbaugh, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of because I think Herbert's got too much upside. Think about what they did last year and how much damage they caused, and they kept Herbert in check as an organization. You let him throw like he did the prior seasons, you're talking about a new division winner of that conference. That could happen. Chargers could take that whole conference if they let him cook. We'll see.
I think Keenan could be top 12.
Oh, you got
if
12
he falls
and 16. Oh,
because right. if Keenan, I think Herbert can support them both. 2, if they let him cook, right? What Cameron was just saying. If Keenan, in the last 5 seasons that Keenan was at the Chargers, 4 of them he finished top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Like Adam said, I think they're going to fall right back into that pattern. Keenan is the safe guy for Herbert. He's going to be getting target after target after target. He finished wide receiver 8 before he left for Chicago. So it is not, I don't think it's unreasonable at all that Keenan jumps right back into that fantasy wide receiver 1 conversation.
That chemistry is unmistakable. It was there for him to have 12 to 18 touches a game, not unheard of. It was a normal game for Keenan Allen. I'd love to see them get back to that. I thought it was a mistake for Chargers to let him go, and for them to get him back, good job. Now let's make it work, All right. So again, those are our perspectives on our commissioners' bold predictions for this year. This has been a fun show. But again, these are always just our perspectives and opinions. And I will always tell somebody about anything we share on this show. Do your own research, form your own opinion. Just don't take our word for it. And as a reminder, this week's trivia question: who was the NFL leading rusher last season? Again, email your answer as well as your name to fantasyturfwar@gmail.com. There are currently 8 submissions in, and you have until Sunday night to enter. Ooh, nice. Our commission has been on this like white on rice. Well done, Commish. Thank you for joining us from way, way down under. And that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you feel like you got value out of this show, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the show with everybody you know, bring a friend. Susan, where can we find you?
All right, down here at Gridiron Goddess, TikTok, Instagram, those are my main ones. I've got a website, thegridirongoddess.com, if you want some merch. And keep an eye out for voting for on my socials for voting for that name contest for the Gridiron Goddess games.
That one. That sounds fun. Adam?
All right, Adam.
Am I backwards on everybody's screen today?
No.
Oh,
I can
cool.
read your shirt.
On my screen, I'm backwards. It was driving me bonkers. I was like, you can hit me at thefantasycouriers.com. Our podcast is wherever you can sit it, but I made that simple in there. I got all the links to the podcast on there. I've got a bunch of submissions for articles through Fantasy Pros. It's kind of a fun little thing I get to do. I just popped 2 more out today, so they just keep rolling. I get behind them, popping them on the website. So just read Fantasy Pros, good stuff. I get to rank on Fantasy Pros, but you can check out us there. I have links to the Gridiron Goddess on our website. You just come there and you can go straight to her site. Anybody who's in Fantasy Turf Wars, I've offered it out. We will put your links on there. So anybody that's on there that has something they want pushed out, we'll put it on there. It's a site for the people. It's got all of our rankings, but we just have fun messing around. Last week, we did our own bold prediction shows. We picked our top players of the year, like our top guy, the guy that we just love. Mine was Chuba Hubbard, and my wife drafted him last night in our charity league. I was like, "You got my guy!" And we did the classic 0 picks, but JJ Wang hated all of my picks, which made it even more fun because we usually agree, and it was nice seeing the terrible look on his face.
Oh, that's awesome. And of course, I'm Cameron Bassett, supporting Shelter Dogs for Veterans, and you can find me here every week. Fantasy Turf War live every Tuesday. As Corey, our commish, would say, be excellent to each other, be kind, and until next time, see ya. Keep moving it forward. Don't forget, Thursday night, get your lineup straightened out. Friday night, there's a game too, if you can believe that one. Have a great one.
Oh, on Friday?
There's a Friday night game.
Not in Brazil, is it?
We're here. Football is back.